Stephen Miller went on CNN and said that Trump has plenary authority. And then the man froze. Like, sat there frozen, blinking. Didn't say a word, silent.
Because whoever was in his earpiece told him to shut the fuck up.
Under the U.S. Code, the president has plenary authority.
Stephen? Stephen?
So the quiet part's out loud. The quiet part is out loud.
Now here's why that term plenary authority does not just mean a lot of power, okay? It means absolute, total power. It means unchecked power, as in what I say is law type power.
Remember, we need to hold Stephen Miller accountable for what he just said, for that little slip up. The little fascist slip up. It's not even a Freudian slip, it's a fascistian slip. Because no way in hell does a president have plenary authority.
What up, my beautiful black people? Welcome to Black People Politics Network. I'm Mr. Red. Now, you may have recently just heard that Stephen Miller talked about the president having absolute power, and then you had J.D. Vance get on TV and pretty much exclaim the exact same thing. When they said that the president has absolute authority, that wasn't a slip of the tongue. That was a confession. And what Stephen Miller and J.D. Vance revealed was that Trump and his inner circles, what they're really planning, what's already in motion. Because this isn't 2016 anymore. This isn't red hats and it isn't rallies. This is part 2 of the coup that they started on January 6th. I would say it's quiet, but it's not. It's digital, it's legal looking, and it's twice as dangerous. Trump is already sending federal troops and ICE agents into American cities like Portland and Chicago, and we also have already seen it happen in Washington, D.C. And if you think it's about law and order, then you're not paying attention. It's about control. He's testing the waters to see how far obedience can go before anyone resists. And when Stephen Miller and J.D. Vance and all the acolytes talk about absolute power, they're not talking this in theory. This is their plan. And this is what we warned America about. We have a lot to discuss. Let's strap in. Let's get after it.
We will prevail over the forces of wickedness and evil. They cannot imagine what they have awakened.
That's Stephen Miller, the White House Deputy Chief of Staff, speaking at Charlie Kirk's memorial. His words closely mirror a 1932 speech by chief propagandist for the Nazi Party, Joseph Goebbels, called "The Storm is Coming."
We are the storm.
Goebbels was a key architect of the Holocaust and Hitler's close confidant. He used the stark dichotomy of good versus evil to justify Nazi superiority, galvanizing the base for revenge against perceived enemies through a religious moral framework. Stephen Miller rallied supporters using the same language.
The Democrat Party is an extremist organization exclusively dedicated to protecting terrorists, criminals, gangbangers, and murderers.
That fire burns with a righteous fury. We are on the side of God.
After J.D. Vance, the vice president, and Elon Musk are now suggesting that the executive branch could simply disregard a federal judge's ruling, essentially dismantling the separation of power in the United States. J.D. Vance just now tweeted out, if a judge tried to tell a general how to conduct a military operation, that would be illegal. If a judge tried to command the attorney general on how to use her discretion, that would be illegal. Judges aren't allowed to control the executive's legitimate power. And Elon Musk, on his part, tweeted out, quote, "I'd like to propose that the worst 1% of appointed judges, as determined by elected bodies, be fired every year. This will weed out the most corrupt and least competent."
If Donald Trump dropped dead, this guy is automatically president. How he has become what he's become from this background.
I'm sitting in the back of this police cruiser. They've just arrested my mom. The relief of having survived another day.
This is a story about something which we don't often talk about in America, which is class.
I came from a southern Ohio steel town, and it's a town that's really struggling in a lot of ways. Trump, I think that he's leading the white working class to a very dark place. I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him.
But in the end, the main thing you need to understand about J.D. Vance is, given the choice between his intellectual statements and power, he chooses power every time.
I was wrong about Donald Trump.
Senator, this is an evolution past comments that you've made. You've said, idiot if you voted for him, might be America's Hitler.
This is where this other side of his personality comes through.
Now, if you're not familiar with these names, Stephen Miller, J.D. Vance, and Russell Vought, they're not random. These are the architects. These have been the architects of Trump's next government. of their next government. The same ones behind Project 2025, which we warned everyone about. Their entire agenda is built around one thing: consolidation of power. They want to remove checks and balances, replace career civil servants with Trump loyalists, control the Department of Justice, the IRS, and even education. This is no longer in the realm of conspiracy theory. This is their own documentation. They have been putting it out there for us to see. And I have been compiling these video clips for quite a while now to show you how bad it actually is.
Major breaking news, 100,000 emails were leaked that show a former Israel Prime Minister talking to Jeffrey Epstein about meeting with Peter Thiel. In case you guys aren't familiar with him, he's the guy that's trying to turn the United States into a surveillance state and a very good ally of Donald Trump, but look at these emails. The first one here is from the former Israel Prime Minister to Jeffrey Epstein saying, "Jeff, thanks, Peter Thiel could be very interesting, but I'm flying to Europe. Next time, best." Writes back, "I have Peter Thiel on the 19th in New York, if you like, as well as the former president of the Maldives." This next one is from the former Israel Prime Minister to an anonymous person saying, "Going to meet him for dinner tomorrow. He has to bring another person with him. I don't know who/why. I've met with him once in Davos some 2 years ago. Probably he doesn't even recall it. Let's see. I was told by the host of the dinner that we will probably spend it just talking about geopolitics. It's a first date. I think he's of huge potential to accelerate things by the sheer reputation he's got. No way it's a waste of time. Thus, I'm going to do it and we will see. I'll let you know." He's of course referring to Peter Thiel. We can confirm this by the other guy's response here saying, "Hi, I googled Peter Thiel. Seems to be a very interesting, smart, and active character. Did you meet him already?" This is a series of communications between the Israel Prime Minister and Jeffrey Epstein confirming that they met with Peter Thiel. But what's even more sinister is that in one of these documents they say, quote, "trying to arrange it so the security guys will not come with us to the island." None of this is speculation either. These emails have been confirmed, verified, and time-stamped. Remember, Donald Trump is working closely with Peter Thiel to turn the United States into a surveillance state. This should worry all of us.
You also need to add in Elon Musk, Palantir, and the billionaire elites building surveillance infrastructure. The next coup won't need soldiers in the streets. They'll use technology. They'll monitor you through your bank account, through your social media, your phone. They'll make loyalty the price of participation. You know some of the things that you're reading about in the Bible, about the one world government and the one currency, and you can't buy or sell unless you have the mark? This is all the kind of stuff that they want to come to play. This is the kind of things that the next level of control actually is. They were able to control people through the Bible before, but now with all this technology, with all this education, with all the things that people have access to, they can no longer control you by lying to you, because there's just too much information out there.